Hello everyone! Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Vivi Duapriliani Saraswati. My ID number is 63240592. Department of Accounting Information System, Bina Sarana Informatika University. Here, I will explain two materials. The first is about computers, and the second is about malicious programs. Let's learn about computers first together. Watch the video until the end. First, we will learn about the definition of a computer first before going into the next discussion. What is a computer? A computer is an electronic device designed to process data and execute instructions or programs. It can receive input, process it according to specific rules, produce information or output, and store information for future use. In simple terms, a computer is a machine capable of calculating, process data, and performing various tasks based on the instruction given. Next, after we know about the definition of a computer, we also have to know what are the functions of a computer. 1. Input data. The first computer function is input. This function is to receive data or information from external source. Data received from activities on a computer or other device through a keyboard or mouse. 2. Processing data. The main function of the computer is to process. Various data and information are data processed by the computer. The processed data will produce output in the form of information. Example are text, image, audio, video, graphics. 3. Storage data. The function of data storage is to store information. Storage is done depending on how the information is used. This computer function makes it easy for users to find data and reuse it. Data can be stored in the computer's internal memory or in external memory. 4. Output data. Data that has been processed in the computer. The results can be used by user or other device for various purposes. Example of output data include audio files, hard copy to paper, printing as 3 models. In the next slide, we will learn about what components are in a computer. Computer components are the various parts that work together to make a computer work. These components fall into 3 categories, namely 1. Hardware. Hardware is hardware that has a physical form. Hardware can be operated directly and serves as a link between the user and the computer system. Some examples of hardware components include mouse, keyboard, monitor, RAM, and many more. 2. Software. Software is a component that has no form, aka invisible. This type of device consists of a program that is tasked with processing data that has been entered into the hardware. 3. Brainware. Brainware differs from hardware and software. Brainware is a factor that comes from computer device. In this case, the term brainware refers to computer user. Examples of brainware include programmers, system analysts, operator, and administrator. After that, we also have to know what are the types of computers. A computer consists of several types, namely by size and function. 1. Personal computer, used for one person, laptop, desktop, tablet. 2. Server computer, used to provide service or data to other computers on a network. 3. Mainframe computer, a large computer used by large organization or data center. 4. Supercomputer, the most powerful computer used for highly complex tasks. 5. Workstation computer, a powerful computer with high graphics capability for tasks such as graphic design or engineering. 6. Hybrid computer, a combination of analog and digital computers. 7. Analog computers use continuous physical quantities to process data. By physical form, 1. Desktop, a computer that sits on or under desk, usually consisting of a tower, monitor, keyboard, and mouse. 2. Laptop or notebook, a portable computer with a folding screen and keyboard. 3. Tablet, a computer with a touch screen that is smaller and lighter than a laptop. 4. Wearable computer, a computer that can be worn, such as a smartwatch. 5. Smartphone, a cell phone that can perform many of the functions of a personal computer. Then the last type is the type of computer based on the processor, which consists of by processor. 1. Mainframe, a large computer used for critical tasks. 2. Mini computer, a computer that is smaller than a mainframe. 3. Personal computer, a computer used for general tasks. After knowing about computers and often operating them, you must feel the benefits on the computer itself, right? The benefits of the computer are 1. Being a means of communication. 2. Makes work easier. 3. As a support for education. 4. As a business support. 5. As an entertainment media. 6. As a warehouse of information. 7. Can speed up work well. That's the material about computers. Next, let's move on to discussing the second topic. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Previously, let me introduce myself. My name is Vivi Gabrieliani Saraswati. My ID number is 63240592. Department of Accounting Information System, Bina Sarana Informatika University. Here, I will explain the second material, namely about malicious programs. Let's learn together. Watch the video until the end. First, we will learn about the definition of a malicious program. First, before going into the next discussion, what is a malicious program? Malicious programs, often referred to as malware, are software programs created with the malicious intent to damage, steal, or disrupt computer systems and networks. These programs can enter the system through various means such as email, internet downloads, or infected device. Next, after we know about the definition of malicious programs, we also have to know what are the types of malicious programs. 1. Virus. A virus is malware that attaches to an existing file or program and spreads when the file or program is run. Virus can corrupt data or make system malfunction. 2. Worm. A worm is malware that can spread independently over a network without the need for a parent file. A worm can spread itself over a network and infect other devices without user interaction. 3. Trojan. Trojans are malware that masquerades as legitimate software but actually contains malicious code. Trojans can give the attacker access to control the victim's computer system. 4. Ransomware. Ransomware is malware that locks up data or computer system and demands a ransom for the data to be unlocked. Ransomware is often a very serious threat as it can disrupt business operations and cause financial losses. 5. Spyware. Spyware is malware designed to collect user personal information without their knowledge. Spyware can steal passwords, financial data, and other personal information. 6. Adware. Adware is malware that displays unwanted advertisement on the user's device. Adware can slow down device performance and cause other problems. In the next slide, we will discuss how malicious programs can enter, so that we can also know and always be vigilant. Malicious programs can enter because 1. Phishing and malspam emails. Usually the main purpose of phishing email is to trick with sensitive information such as access credentials to various services, card verification codes, the last 3 digits on the back of payment cards, PIN codes, or other personality identifiable information. 2. Scam websites. Scammers create fake web pages to mimic real websites with domain names that resemble the domain of the fake organization as closely as possible, with some minor difference here and there, such as adding letters or symbols or even wall words. 3. USB flash disks. Cyber criminals love to use the social engineering strategy of lost flash drive to trick good people who don't know any better into plugging a corrupt flash drive into their computer. Once the corrupt drive is plugged in the opened, your device can be infected with a keylogger or ransomware. 4. Ad software. While the purpose of these ads is generally to generate revenue for the sites, sometimes they are peppered with the various types of malware, and by clicking on these ads or adware, you may accidentally download them to your device. 5. Fake apps. These apps can masquerade as anything such as fitness tracking tools, cryptocurrency apps, or even COVID-19 tracking apps. However, in reality, instead of receiving the advertised service, the device will be infected with different types of malware such as ransomware, spyware, or keyloggers. After knowing how malicious programs can enter, we also need to know what negative impacts will be received if the malicious program enters. Malware can have a variety of negative impacts on both individuals and organizations. 1. Financial loss. Financial data, theft or ransom demands can lead to substantial losses. 2. Data damage. Malware can corrupt or delete important data, leading to the loss of valuable information. 3. Decreases system performance. Malware can slow down computer or network performance, reducing productivity. 4. Security compromise. Malware can grant unauthorized access to attacker, which can result in data theft or further attacks. Next, in this last slide, we will discuss how we can prevent malicious programs with the following methods. 1. Install security software. Use antivirus and anti-spyware software that can detect and remove malware. 2. Update system and software. Keep your operating system and all software up to date to fix a security vulnerabilities. 3. Avoid clicking on unknown links. Do not click on links or attachments in emails from unknown or suspicious senders. 4. Download from trusted sources. Download software only from official and trusted websites to avoid malware disguised as legitimate software. 5. Use strong password. Use strong and unique password for each account and enable two-factor authentication where possible. 6. Backup data periodically. Perform regular data backups to ensure important data can be recovered in the event of malware attack. The discussion on computer and malicious program material has concluded. Hopefully, we become knowledgeable and understand computers and their types, as well as malicious programs and some ways to prevent them. Well, that might be all the material I can present. I hope what I have conveyed can be easily understood and add to our knowledge. More or less, I apologize and I thank you. If you have any question, feel free to leave them in the comment column, guys. I conclude. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you guys.